Hello everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Look at that. No ball cap today. I actually have hair on the top of my melon. Can you believe that? I'm just using my belly gimbal here, so excuse me for the movement. But anyways, yeah, what do I want to talk about today? You know, I took quite a bit of time off from doing this, and I put out a video a couple days ago about Trudeau walking the plank, and you know, I don't really want to get into political stuff, but you know, the last few days there's been so much stuff going on, and really, for somebody who's trying to be a practicing Stoic, right? You know, to be present, you shouldn't really be focused on crap like that, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I've definitely got no control over it. But the only thing I want to talk about really is the importance about what is going on and how to view these things so that you can make your own informed decision. Like, I'm not here to give you an opinion on someone, but I might make a couple of statements. It's up to you to decide for yourself what's appropriate and what you to believe in. But what I feel I can add to what's going on is for you to understand really the importance to watch what is going on and not necessarily listen to what's going on, right? The actions of people. One of the things I've been finding very disturbing for a long time, and especially now with the timing. You know, I was watching the news and the political pundits and you know, talking about the inopportune time of Justin Trudeau's resignation and the implications of it for Canada as far as dealing with Donald Trump and negotiations on the tariffs that he wants to put against our country due to immigration, drugs, and all this crap. The fortunate thing, actually, I should say, I watched a video today from this Dr. Todd Grundy from the States, and he gave a really bang-on assessment of Justin Trudeau. If I think about it, I'll put the link to that. I'll find that video and put a link to it to mine. But anyways, what I'm getting at is, unfortunately, Mr. Trudeau waited until now to resign, right? The problem with that was he was clearly thinking or believing himself that he can make changes, and he wasn't present to totally understand what was going on, and he needed to really think about Canada as a whole and not just as himself and his belief system, what is right. Now, can you fault a guy if he honestly believes what he's believing, what he thinks he's doing is correct? Maybe not on a personal note, but you know, we all kind of relied on him, and we were hoping that he would use better judgment in his affairs and how he was dealing with his exit, because it was abundantly clear that he had to go, right? You know, so, and not to get into what we perceive or understand what he's done to be so unpopular, but because he wasn't really focused and really in touch or present with what was really going on and what he was doing. he's caused a lot of problems. I mean, it's rather unfortunate. I believe because of his actions and not really having the skill set personally to deal with people, other leaders on an international scale. He's really caused a lot of issues. And I was kind of thinking about, I forget when it was, but I believe it was a G20 summit, and he was mocking Donald Trump and got all over the news. And I remember thinking at the time, it was kind of funny what he was doing, but it wasn't really funny because as a diplomat, you shouldn't be behaving like that. It's just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that you mock them, right? You got to really pick your spots. And I bet you that's been festering in all the golden whatever and down in the States for quite a while. And, he, I guess payback is a bitch, right? On a personal level, right? But, I was having a chat with a friend of mine, and, we do business together, and we're talking about these things. And we were talking about being present and what we respect in people when we subcontract to them and by their actions, whether or not we trust somebody to do the work if we feel we're going to get paid or not. Right? This is one of these things because, by people's actions, right, who they are and if you can trust them and if it's worth doing business with them. And I'm not here to make a political comment or anything like that. But the big but is the one thing I don't understand, really, and I really don't get it, is the Canadians, and I know some of them personally, who have really become Donald Trump sycophants, if that's the right term. I just don't get it. I really don't get it, especially with the way he's talking about us in the social media and what he wants to do. I mean, he hasn't done it yet, but not to be fearful, but he's got us in his crosshairs. I really don't understand why Kevin O'Leary keeps pushing him. I guess I do understand it because he wants to buy TikTok. But, if you're really a honest Canadian, a good Canadian, you love your country, you're not going to put up with that horseshit and that talk from somebody, right? And if you're really smart and you talk about business and you're being in business, how can you trust somebody to lead your country that has a habit of not paying their bills? I asked my friend today, he was a bit of a Donald Trump fan. He's conservative. I'm not conservative or right wing or left, whatever. It's I wouldn't even consider. I'm just Robbie, right? I just look at things like, okay, what has this person done? Are they honest? Do they have any integrity? Right? How do they treat people? How do they talk to women or about women? Right? I've never agreed with that man as a human being by what he exhibits and his behavior. That's just strictly business. So when we talked about it today, I said, if you were dealing with him in business, would you work for him? And my buddy was a fan. I'm not going to mention his name. He said, no. I said, so why is he good for the universe? I said, I don't get it. So he says, you know what? You're right. I said, I know it. I know I'm right. And all the people out there on YouTube who hated Trudeau, and he kept pushing Pierre Poilievre, I'm not saying anything against him, saying that he's going to be the best guy in dealing with Donald Trump and all this shit. What did Donald Trump say about him? Who? Who is he? Oh, I really don't care if he wins or loses. I really don't care. He doesn't give a shit about him. I think that's a real kick in the teeth. Right? And me observing what's going on, the other thing I find very distressing is Daniel Smith, the Premier of Alberta, got invited and is going to the inauguration. You know, head of the state or provinces really shouldn't be going. It should be a representative. And the reason being is when you go to something like that and you're going to him, you are showing that he's the man, he's the king of the mountain, and you're beneath him. Soon as you show that, you lose all your power of negotiations. You know, I understand that with owning a small business. Right? That is not the thing you go to establish trade relationships. They already have them. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's your actions. It's their actions. You know, there's going to be lots of people that disagree with me if this video goes anywhere. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I might get 20 video people watching. I might get 100. I might get 3,000. Who knows? I mean, who really gives a shit, right? I don't care. But I'm just putting it out there that a few people out there are really concerned about being a Canadian and really concerned about our country. You got to really not believe in that crap. It's crap. It is. We are an absolute laughing stock in international media. Just clip on the Fox News. I don't know. I find it extremely embarrassing. It makes me angry. God, they even have a distorted view of who won the War of 1812. I mean, Jesus, we were the ones that burnt down half the White House. You know, that doesn't get talked about. But anyways, that's kind of my rant today. I'm going to have to stop watching that shit on YouTube. It's kind of getting me going. Because it bothers me. And it's not being very stoic. Because it bothers me not because it affects really my standard of living. But it affects the standard of living of my adult children. Their ability to have a family. To be able to afford to have a family, afford to have a home. Their own identity as a Canadian. Right? I mean, let's face it, and this is totally going off topic, but I believe Gary Bettman fucked up the NHL, or the hockey game is different. Right? But that's a totally different topic, right? But you know, we need to believe in ourselves and not be subservient to others. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, stop. Believe in ourselves. Believe that we have the ability to do something. You know, the one thing that we're forgetting, we're the ones with the natural resources, right? We can do business with whoever. If somebody doesn't treat you in a respectful manner, don't put up with their bullshit in life. Just walk away. Be present. Have some pride. Okay? Anyways, if you like what I had to say, please hit the like, share, subscribe. Take care of yourself. I love you all. Remember, whether you're a man, woman, child, rainbow, biker, construction worker, whatever, first responder, most important thing, Stoic. Remember, Stoic, most important thing in this life is to be kind. Right? Be good, be honest. Treat people with respect. Right? Do business above board. Okay? Have a great day. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye-bye.